Paranormal Evidence.
Tonight, see what truly exists inside the world of the paranormal. Inside. Join the discussion and review some of the best paranormal evidence captures from a wide variety of experienced and up-and-coming investigators. See and hear what they capture, where they captured it, and how they captured it. Right now on Entity Voices
Paranormal Evidence.
Good evening and welcome to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. We are working with a reduced crew of about half. If Cherie would sit up forward so that we can see she's actually here.
Right,
there we go. So we've got 3 of the 6. Chris is in Baltimore for work. Audra wasn't feeling well, and unfortunately neither was Lourdes from weekend travel. So that happens on Monday. So we apologize, but the 3 of us will hold it together under some
can do this.
Shape or form. Yes.
And we have a co-host too.
Yes.
Our guest.
Iacovetti.
No, our guest too.
Well, we're going to make them co-host and be guests?
Yeah.
Wow. There's some pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
So speaking of weekends, which are over, which I don't want to talk about, but anyway, what'd you do this weekend, Ron? What did you and Lourdes do?
We were busy like you guys, man. I was trying to stay involved with what I was doing, and I was watching what you were doing, and it was a happy moment for me to see the entire Staticom crew strewn about the landscape of the U.S. doing so much stuff. Like sometimes like you're on, we're off, we're on, you're off. But this was like we were all like full bore out there. We did an event at a place. I'm going to spell it first so then I can disqualify the fact that I'm saying anything inappropriate. It's BUBE apostrophe S. Boobies. In Mount Joy, Pennsylvania. And I will tell you that it is a very, very unique location. I don't know that I've ever been to a place like it. And all the time I've been doing this, it had so much depth to it. There was a whole outdoor area for seating. The inside was immense. They had catacombs and tunnels below the building that went through a lot of the town itself. Like a lot of the tunnels may be collapsed, so it's not all, actively interconnected anymore. But it was bonkers. Yeah, we stayed with the Cocos. Actually, there was a Airbnb that was across the street that was connected by tunnel at one point. But if you look at some of the pictures posted, there's a dining area below, like 40 feet below the ground in the catacombs area, which was made for like the vats and the brewing and everything. And the entranceway down the stairs looks like the beginning of a ride at Disney. Like it looks like the approach to like the Haunted Mansion or Pirates or something. It's unbelievable.
That's awesome.
So that was our Saturday, and it was really good. We did a bunch of sittings. We worked with Daryl Marston again from My Haunted Manor USA and Ghost Hunters. Super nice guy. We got to speak a little bit with him up front. Hey, Diamond State.
Yeah, I think he forgot Cherie. Hello, Cherie.
Yeah, how do you forget Cherie?
I know. Hello, Ron, and hello, Tony Ratman. Where's Cherie? I'm just kidding. Hi.
Passed over.
I know, right?
But yeah, it was very cool. And we had another aha moment when 2 ladies came up to us after one of the sessions, and they had lost a loved one in a very tragic way. And a lot of what came through was specific to them through Staticom, and we did not know. They didn't want to tell the whole group, so they came up to us privately afterwards. And we were very taken aback by the information when they told us, because we heard it all come through, but we didn't realize it congealed into something that meant something to them.
Right. That's awesome, though. Hopefully it, gave them some sort of closure or understanding, or just so that's great when that happens. So that's
they said it was meaningful. And then you guys now, you were set up in some really ornate, nice looking locations, 2 in 1 weekend, right?
3. We did a double. So on Saturday we did the the Superstition Mountain Museum, and really enjoyed it. We had 2 different Staticom sessions. Both went very well, got some great responses. The audience was pretty enamored of what they were hearing, which was good. Mm-hmm. Then the following night, and I'm just going to share a photo because this place is so cool. But we did a double presentation at the Orpheum Theater, and this is what the Orpheum Theater looks like.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Picture doesn't do them justice.
Yeah, it's hard to get.
Yeah, how much did it cost you for the GQ model to stand there for the photos?
There's no GQ. Where's the GQ model? Actually, I think he's in this one.
It's a magazine.
Yeah, I know what it is. Oh, in one of the photos, not these 2 that I posted, but there's somebody standing here. Is that actually a walkway? Are these steps?
No, that's not steps. That's actually
This is not a walkway? Here?
Doesn't look like it. I mean, unless there's depth to it that we can't see, but
okay, then tell me where this guy came from. Oh, I don't have it. It's in a different photo, but there is somebody standing.
Roger will
right here.
Oh, he said no spot to walk over there. Roger.
Yeah,
all right, so I gotta find that photo because there is somebody standing like right here.
Wow. Quick shout out to Rachel Hughes watching us from the UK. Always
Very cool.
To see her.
Awesome.
She's a sweetheart.
That's super cool. All right, let me stop screen sharing so you can go back to your comments. Why can't I stop screen sharing?
X out.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, we did 2 of them Saturday night, 2 of them Sunday night. Had a little trouble with Staticom's performance when we started. It picked up by the second round, but was adjusting like crazy, trying to, I don't know if it's different environments, different spirit. I don't know what causes that. But Sheree said to me, how come Ron can just flip his open and turn it on? And so I don't know. We'll have a powwow. Yeah, we'll have a powwow, do some setting reviews.
It was very frustrating.
It was very frustrating.
We turned it on and it worked. The only variation we ever have in it is that sometimes it is completely silent unless there's a vocal coming through. And sometimes it sounds like some of the conversations in the background, which are still not constant. But you hear more than just dead silence. That seems to be the only variant we have with regard to it. But yeah, pretty much we flip it on and it works. We'll do a powwow.
Yeah.
He's like, I gave up.
I was so irritated with it. I mean, we could hear him coming down towards the auditorium, and I'm like, I give up. I'm like, let's just pack it up and go home.
I feel for you. I've been there before. We did that one event in New Jersey that time when it was the least we'd ever gotten anything we've left the house to do. And I was like, we could have just sat here with an Etch-a-Sketch to the spirits and just turned knobs and made stairs, and it would have been more impressive than what we're doing tonight. I was like, no.
The good part was, though, is that by the time we actually started using it, even the first session, we had some good responses, and the second one was even better. So, it didn't fail us, but it was about 30 minutes of real frustration prior, but it went well. It went well. Yeah.
You looked like you had really some beautiful locations. Like some of those, the setup in the rooms were really nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. Can't complain at all.
We go there yearly. They invite us yearly, so which is awesome. So.
Right. But on 3 hours of sleep, I think I got to bed about 12:30.
Oh,
was up at.
Okay, you told me that like 6 times already. I know, I get it.
I'm telling you. I'm not talking to you.
It's my first time. And telling me could get him a membership card because that's my life.
I know. the times that I'll get a message from you and it's 9-10 o'clock here, I'm like, Ron, it's like 1 o'clock. Aren't you sleeping?
Yeah,
You
no.
don't sleep. You don't sleep.
He doesn't sleep.
I do. I eat and I sleep.
That's what he does.
That's what I do. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, yes, we have some great guests tonight. We have 305 Paranormal, Jen and Mondo. Yeah. So let's bring them in to say hello. There they are.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Hi.
Thank you for having us back.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming back.
Exactly.
No,
Yes.
always.
So there
New
will be
co-host now.
We could be the third co-host.
We'll just-
we do this weekly.
That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
We'll be the stand-ins whenever you need it.
Yeah, and you know what's nice is that as far away as we all live from each other geographically, since the last time you appeared on our show, or even us on yours, we have all been in the same room together in Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
And that
Yes,
was
that's true.
awesome.
That was
Yeah, that is very cool. Actually.
truly an amazing experience. Guys, I know you've heard them speak weekly about how phenomenal Staticom is. You could take it from another two people
Yes.
that have had the pleasure of sitting in on it. It's truly a remarkable experience, and one that it's just, you can hear us talk about it, but it's another thing actually experiencing it. It's truly awesome.
Aw, thank you. That's
so
so nice.
Very, very, very kind.
Go back to Jay Campbell's comment. Jay Campbell's awesome. He's down by Virginia with Steve Dills, who I'm guessing it's Steve because he wrote it. Steve, I've stolen Jay's phone. If you're going to start a life of crime, stealing cell phones from your teammates is probably a safe place to do that.
There you go.
So I'm sure you guys, last time you were on, sort of gave a brief history, but because our audience grows every time, and it looks like we've got quite a few people in here tonight, why don't you start out by just giving, and it can be a 40,000 foot level, but just give a brief background, how you got started, how it led you up to everything you're doing today, and we'll start there.
Sure.
Started paranormal stuff since I was a child, and then always curious about learning into the paranormal and what maybe experiences I was having, and so just researching growing up. In 2018, we went to an event during a state, which actually we're going to tomorrow because so the team we're on, War Party, they do a forensics class field trip, and so we participate in teaching that, or the paranormal side of forensics. Very cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know they did that until we started doing those events.
It's like this department of, well, essentially kids, middle school kids,
middle school field trip, yeah.
And it's just the curiosity of their minds and just explaining things, and it just seems like nowadays when you speak to anyone, oh, you're a paranormal investigator like Sam and Kobe, and we're like,
yeah, that's the number one person we get. We're like, Sam and y'all know Sam and Kobe? We're like, yes. But
and we just explain, what we do, and they get to experience that on a on-person level, and it's different from seeing it on TV, and just that curiosity. It's amazing to be able to help them out and understand what we do.
So we started there. I ended up contacting that team. Eventually, they started looking for people to be kids. Yes, they were part of that.
Steven, Mella, those are great.
That's
friends
our compadres here from down south.
Black Smoke Paranormal.
Everybody check them out. And then I got in a team War Party, and then Armando started tagging along. And then he officially became a member. So that was around 2019. No, that was before that. 2018, 2019.
The end of 2018, yeah.
And I've always had experiences. And then I told him that whenever he eventually first moved in with me, I was like, you might experience some things. Because I've always grew up with something happening. I just thought, I don't know, I was haunted or something. I don't know. And eventually he got his experience in experienced something, but the house was really messed up too. So that it was a good house for it. I'll just say that. and we've been here ever since. So,
That house literally has a pool in it, and it's like I was thrown into the deep end.
Yeah.
that was my experience with it. And this everybody knows the story. It's the ghost butt story. So that was my very first encounter with the paranormal. I was playing PlayStation, and yeah, we're your guinea pigs. Yeah, and just to make a long story short, I felt a super cold on the left side of my body, and when I looked down, I heard the futon springs of what I was sitting on, the springs going down, and I saw an impression of literally a ghost butt and legs sitting next to me, and that was my very first paranormal experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
That's very cool.
Very.
How did you guys do with the big hurricane just recently? No problems
nothing
at all?
here. Not where we're at. It was a little further north from so we're in Miami, Florida. 40 minutes up is like Broward, and they started getting like the tornadoes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And from north up, that's what really hit a lot of people I see is the tornadoes, like a lot of tornadoes. That's what really messed up a lot of people up. Oh, in the lake area, Okeechobee Lake and everything, like they just got hammered with stuff. I forget. I looked at the map, but they had how many? You remember how many tornadoes it said? Right?
It said over 600 tornadoos that hurricane spawned from
the whole map was like everything.
State of Florida. They didn't specify how strong it was, but anything that was categorized as a tornado, it was about 600 is what the map said. Spawning from the east to west coast of Florida,
everywhere.
From as far south as pretty much us, Miami-Dade County, all the way north, past central Florida.
Yeah.
Wow. The weather, no matter where you live, has just been doing strange things. We broke a record here, and I can't remember what the exact number of days was. It was like 70 or 80 days of 110 or higher.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It was a wicked
Wasn't the high in Arizona the other day like 73?
Yeah, that was like
just one day.
That was like tundra to us. We had like winter coats on. I was walking around in a snowmobile suit. That's cold.
Our high here in New Jersey that same 2 days was 74 and 77.
Because the body adjusts to temperatures. And even though we complain when it's that hot, man, when it gets cold, I was like, this sucks. But it was almost 90 again today. So
it was warmer here than it was in Surprise, Arizona.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
74 is good for a high. I would love that.
Yeah.
We don't get that.
Yeah, we'll take that too.
Yeah.
We had 77 today, but it's not going to last.
It's going to go.
Never does. Never does.
We'll be going into the fall and winter, and eventually it'll be winter coats and layers. And
I love that. We don't get that. I'm so jealous of you guys.
We only get 2 days of cold. Literally only 2.
It's probably not even cold. It's like,
yeah, low 60s, high 50s. That's
cold is relative.
Right?
To the rest
it's
of the
cold in my house.
Cold. Let's be honest.
All right. Well, 305 sent in some clips. So I think the best way to do this is I will play the first one, and then you guys can give us a recap, what we were looking at, where you were at, what's going on. So let me start with, I'm assuming that's no, that looks like
it's a surprise. We'll see when we see it.
It's like a grab bag, if you will, guys.
All right. Here is the first one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So this is a friend of ours. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. A friend of ours we went to Clay County. So she saw something there. It was from a video. So I'll explain after. I set up the different like colors because I was thinking maybe it was like something with the light from another cell, but I told her I can clearly see somebody standing there, and I looked in the era back in that area. This is the courthouse for that jail that's right in front of it. And then these people, like, they had the same beard, the same style hat of the guy that's in the cell. I don't know why I had that black screen. Sorry.
So yeah, if you can go, you saw.
Yeah,
it.
you probably can like go back and maybe like hit pause, and you'll be able to see the guy.
Or a slideshow.
That's a cool place.
Yeah.
Yes. So we got invited here
By Black Smoke.
by our friend Stephen Mella, Black Smoke Paranormal.
So if you pause it, maybe.
Excellent location.
Yeah.
I can't because it's been
Oh, you
loaded.
can't?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh,
So yeah. So I try to draw like the guy's like nose, eyes after this.
Yeah,
right
I
there,
see
you
light it
can
up
kind of
and the
see
beard.
like a top hat and the gentleman's forehead, eyes, nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And it has like that same style hat. I looked up the area and like the time era of like the jail and stuff like that, which would be this era right here. And I didn't know that they had big beards like that. Like that shocked me because I didn't know that. You know, I didn't think they would have been more clean shaven. I mean, you know, like nothing.
Yeah,
They
you
had
can
big
tell
ass
by
beards.
the eyes. It's actually, you can see the eyes on that picture. I wish we can, pause it. We can't, huh?
Not loaded, no.
Oh, because it's a slideshow, like a video.
It's been loaded to StreamYard, so no.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah. I don't have that one separately. Chris loaded that, so.
Okay.
Very interesting, though. And that, you said those were screenshots taken from an actual video?
From a video, yeah. So Thany, one of our friends, she had went up with us to that location with Black Smoke and some other people. And it's kind of by St. Augustine, what Mela or Steve was saying.
Yeah.
It's between St. Augustine and another jail. It's like right kind of like in the middle. I'm terrible with directions, but she was with us in that part of the investigation because a group went to the courthouse and then we stayed in the jail and then we like swapped because we were like kind of crunched for time. And she was just doing a random walkthrough and I did the same thing. And it was just kind of uncomfortable. That was the men's cells upstairs. And downstairs are the women's. When we first walked in, I heard like a disembodied, like a woman saying like, like some crazy thing. Like I thought somebody was in there with me. Like I went directly to go check and there was nothing. It was just two back end cells. So I don't know what were those two back cells. Maybe like, because the doors were different they were like doors instead of like the cage doors.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's more like isolation or something. I have no idea. But everybody tells me, in at least for the women's part, that the back end, they always hear something or hear something move or hear like voices. So I experienced that. And in a video that I had taken, I had like EVPs in that same floor where that thing was wild for you guys. You got the courthouse for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had gotten in my video, there was like distortion. I didn't send you guys that, but like I was taking like same, just like B-roll basically is what she was doing. And I was doing the same thing. And then I get like distorted thing. And there was like a little kind of like whisper on my end for my video, which I don't think is my camera. It's kind of like weird because everything lined up. It was like distortion, then like a EVP sound. And then it's just, I don't know, it's just like an ick feeling, I guess, in that place. I love that place. So that was Clay County. That place was pretty awesome, actually. The setup, as far as like going there to investigate, is a little because we were told one price, and then when we got there, it was something else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they got a gotcha.
That's never a good sign.
No. These random places in Florida. Yeah.
So Roger asked, have you ever investigated any area near Stewart, Port St. Lucie?
Port St. Lucie.
Yeah. Hope Sound
Okay.
and Juniper Beach?
So the Hope Sound and Jupiter Beach, no. Stewart, we did a residential in, and Port St. Lucie, yes, we have. We actually investigated where the Devil's Tree is.
Yes.
And that was a great location.
That's a location, yeah. So I know Jersey has a Devil's Tree. Right. And I didn't know that until I started looking up our DoubleTree, and I was like, I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, why is it telling me Jersey?
Yeah.
I was like, it's supposed to be in Port St. Lucie, Florida. And so that place is he used to be a cop, a police officer, and he was
John Schaefer.
Yes. Yeah. And he was murdering women, and he would do whatever and then take them out to this park area and dump their bodies there.
Mm-hmm.
Or hang them
off of a tree.
Yeah. And that place is very dark. Like super, super dark.
Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, in our very first episode, the first time that we had the pleasure of being
we sent you that was one of the clips.
With you guys. We showed the Delco experiment right next to the Devil's Tree, and where I was taking the still shots.
Yeah.
And the face moved right next to Jenny's.
That was that place.
Oh wow! Okay, I remember that.
Yeah. Where the guy, he was so weird. It
right,
was like eyeballs.
We are gonna play that one more time.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here it is.
1894.
So
the extension was that back part.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it looks like another guy behind it. To me.
Yeah, and that's pretty tall too, because he was.
All right.
He has like feathered hair.
Yeah.
Has a similarity, facial.
Interesting story, though, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one I have, I'll play it, and then you guys can tell us about what we're looking at. Here it is.
Joe's right up there. This is us here. Cecilia.
Oh yeah. Is my butt shake?
I see. I kept seeing
What is
like
that?
something
Yeah.
like an orb over here.
I
This
just saw
is
it
a
again.
camera.
No, I just saw something flash.
It keeps like a light source. Even though
Okay.
That's the tripwire now, right?
yeah.
Yeah, because I see a flash of blue up here. You got your recorders?
Yeah.
Which one is that? You need to record?
Give me a second.
I just saw, dude, I just saw something black just move right here. Right
That's
there.
right.
Like literally right there. I just saw it, and I have my camera pointing there. For sure. Something moved across right here.
Timestamp down.
902, 902. Right here. No.
Alright, I'm good to roll. 3, 2, 1.
Heard some footsteps up here when I came down.
So I was recording the nerve thing. I was just doing like nothing. I wasn't doing anything. I didn't expect anything to happen.
So tell us what you were seeing, what we were looking at,
So
where you were at.
I was at the table. I was circled. It was they had a computer here. We had multiple like static cameras like all over the area. So remember at the first of the video, it was like a camera shooting down one hallway, and that camera was also shooting down another opposite hallway. So the thing where I saw, because I went up to the table and I'm like, Armando's like sitting there and we're just watching like all the cameras at the same time. And at that moment, we were getting ready to do an EVP, and our friend Joe, he was upstairs in the balcony area of that theater. And right when we were going to set up to do an EVP, on the screen where I'm looking at, I saw something in the hallway. I don't know. I saw something like black. I didn't until watching that video again. I didn't even see it go the other way. Yeah, so many cams. I know, because that's why I circled it. It looked like something. I don't know. It looked like a baby, like a slithering, like a slide, like a black thing, like going on the floor, going up, and then like come back down this way. But it looks like it goes around that thing that's on the floor, which was a grid, and then it goes back towards, like, I guess, passing our doorway.
All right, let's see if you can. The problem is this one for some reason.
Yeah, we can't pause it or.
Yeah, this one for some reason puts the mics out because there's sound probably to this one.
Yeah, you can hear me like talking. No, I heard it though, but it was like low.
At what point are we looking for this? I'm assuming this is on the
right when we're looking at like the
of the screen.
The what?
The middle right-hand side of the screen. Are you talking about?
Yeah, on the right-hand side. So like if you see me standing, I'm like standing over the table, like behind in that hallway.
There's a doorway
there's a door, the big door behind us in that hallway.
Let's play it.
Where she circled that, take a look there.
Okay.
All right, here it comes.
Joe's right up there. This is us here. Cecilia.
Oh yeah. Is my butt shaking?
I see. I kept seeing
What is
like
that?
something like an orb over here.
I just
This
saw
is
it
a
again.
camera.
No, I just saw something flash.
It keeps like a light source, even though
Okay.
That's the tripwire down, right?
yeah.
Yeah, because I see a flash of blue up here. You got your recorders?
Yeah.
Which one is that? You want me to record? Come on.
Give me a second.
I just saw, dude, I just saw something black just move right here. Right
That's
there.
right.
Like literally right there. I just saw it, and I had my camera pointing there. For sure. Something moved across right here.
Timestamp down.
902, 902. Right here. No.
Alright, we're good to roll. 3, 2, 1.
Heard some footsteps up here when I came down.
Did you guys understand it better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So reviewing that, I didn't notice it the first time. I only saw it like coming back. So I was like, oh, I saw something going this way. But then after looking at it, I saw it I don't know, like bigger going that way, and then like it looks weird, and then it comes back this way.
Yeah, that's the.
It reminds me of Maggie from The Simpsons, like crawling on the floor. That's the only thing I can think of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
What was neat about that location, so that's the Heard Opera House. It's in Arcadia, Florida. It's not off of the West Coast, but I would say it's about a 30-minute drive from Punta Gorda, Fort Myers area. So that location was actually the back wall was destroyed in Hurricane. I believe it was Ian, the one that was in 2020.
It was like a year prior to that.
I believe so. And then we went there the 1-year anniversary of the wall being torn off from the hurricane, which was that night. And we were getting tons of responses. We didn't know if it had to do with the 1-year anniversary. On top of that, it was storming really bad. But yeah, we were getting a lot of responses. And I know someone had mentioned something to the effect of hurricanes and storms, we can tell you that, investigating during a storm, energies get ramped up, and we seem to get more evidence at that particular point in time.
That night also was the first time that I think for me was the first time we ever experienced like walkies like going off by themselves.
Oh yes,
I seen it on TV. It didn't happen for us until that very night, and it's been happening like ever since with our walkies, not our walkies, but our team's walkies.
Wow.
And that was like, it's still wild to me because the whole place was going nuts. Like the lights were flickering. That was like within the first like I don't know 40 minutes of us there when that started happening. The lights were flickering, the walkies were going off, and they were going off like nuts. I had a REM pod on the stage, and I had a little cap on it. I put it there, and when I walked away, like the cat ball like knocked off the REM pod completely twice. When I went back to put it, I was like, oh, that's weird, and I put it back, and then it did it again, and I was like, okay.
And REM pod is not that light.
No, but I put it there like in the middle. So our REM pod has like 3 prongs in the middle, or sorry, 4, like the lights.
The lights.
I put it in the middle. So sometimes I do that when I see like spirit is using the cap on only, not touching the REM pod. I kind of like turn off the REM pod. I turn off the cap on. I just kind of leave it there, and I have the REM pod on. So I want to hear the REM pod work. I never hear it work. In other words, so it just knocked it over.
Wow.
Wow.
Karen is asking, what is Delco?
Yeah, Raul asked also.
Yes, Raul.
So
you wrote it.
If you can pull them out while I explain. So I had mentioned this on the chat. So it's essentially a cross between the Gansfeld and the Estes method. So whereas the Estes method, you go and you have your blindfold and your headphones and you do your SB sessions, speak with spirit. So what our teammate did.
These are the prototype. They do not look like this.
Our teammate did was he decided to make these goggles, and he mashed both experiments together, and they work with a red light. So
yeah, so the Gansfeld, you see that.
You'll see the red light when you have the goggles on. They're supposed to help you visualize. But yeah, just like the Estes with the blindfold, you will not see anything out of these. So there's nothing that you were visualizing that you see in front of you.
Wow.
So yeah, you just put these guys on just like you would a blindfold, and then your headphones so you can communicate with spirit.
That's pretty
Very
cool.
cool. Very cool.
If you normally so when you do Delco and stuff like that, or people, it was used for like ESP. So if you normally are like give visuals like images and stuff like that, you're definitely, to me, you get them. You will get it with this.
To me personally, it doesn't
matter because you can't see out of it anyways. I've done both.
I experimented with both as well just to see if there was any difference, and to me there wasn't. Most of the time the batteries do go kind of quick on those, so I personally don't even use it with the red light, to be honest with you. And yeah, it's user preference, but I have been able to visualize with the lights on.
So you say, like, I use it with the lights on, I don't close my eyes. Eventually, like, I don't even see the red anymore. Like, I've either it goes like either black, or I've seen like all white, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Interesting.
In concept, it's similar to what the device called the God Helmet does. It's a form of brain entrainment where you're taking your sensory input off the table to allow yourself to introspect and to tap into more of what you would pick up or sense without sensory input from sight, sound, touch, taste, etc., which obviously those you're not experiencing, but the sight and sound part of it, you're satisfying, especially with that, with the red on or not. You no longer have visual input, so you're envisioning will now be introspective. It's supposedly a more open or porous view in your consciousness because you don't have external stimuli or perception coming in.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Very interesting. Hey, Ryan, you're sharing the screen. Is that something you want me to open?
yeah, I don't know if you saw when I asked you before, and you did it anyway, because they wanted you to zoom in and pause on that one image from the first piece of evidence, and we couldn't because it was loaded into StreamYard. But when you replayed it, I did a screen capture and then blew it up a little bit. So if you wanted to, there it is.
Oh yeah, thank you.
If you wanted to have a better view of it.
Yeah, no, that was great, Ron. Thank you.
Damn, you should have done it with the one, maybe without my squiggles.
So you can see
My beautiful drawing there.
No, that's good. I figured that was the one you wanted. And for $12, I can sing you 15 wallet size.
It's weird. Like when I see, I can see not all the time, but I've seen like spirits apparition, and to me their eyes look like that. Like people sometimes ask me about that, and I feel like their eyes are like, it's weird, kind of like blacked out. You know, that's the best way I've described it. I can describe it, and I can see it in this guy's eyes. His face.
Yeah, you could definitely. Almost
so
reflection of
Mary Beth is saying the other show I like. They're on the same time as us. Those are our teammates. The War Party Paranormal show.
There you go. Don't worry, Mary Beth. Thank you for being here.
You're still
it's still a War Party.
It's still War Party either way.
Yeah.
And yeah, the reason why you've seen those goggles there is because one of the hosts of that show, Mike Del Coro, is the inventor of the Delco goggles. Didn't know what to call them, so he told us that he's gonna call them the Delco goggles, and wanted the opinion of the teammates at the team, and we said that it was a cool name for a cool concept, and gave us the prototypes. We used them, and he's thrown them onto a store, a paranormal equipment store, and he's been selling them like hotcakes. So if you guys want to check them out.
Red, I think the red is supposed to. Well, that's kind of like when the Gansfield. I don't think it works for any other color, but I forget what it was with the red. That is supposed. I think it makes you more like in a trance-like state. Do you know anything about that? I have looked it up before, but I don't remember anymore. Like
that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to help you kind of like go into being able to visualize more. That's what the whole behind the red.
Yeah, that color is supposed to be more productive for cognitive arousal, I think, if that's the way they phrase it.
There's a medical process called photobiomodulation, which uses red light for improved brain function, increase blood flow, reduce cell death, accelerated recovery. So I'm sure, I would think, if it was intended to be read for those reasons.
When you looked it up, I looked it up real quick. It says it can lead to higher arousal levels. Whoa, wait. What are we talking about here?
I think that's a different red light. Those are the ones you see outside.
No, it says Gansfield experiment. I promise. It says, I guess it's better than green light, because another people sometimes I've even seen something about with green light or blue.
Arousal.
I might be reading it wrong. But it's better for remember it was used for like ESP, for like perception and telepathy, and it keeps you longer in that like kind of like state of mind, I guess.
Yeah, the whole thing behind the photobiomodulation is that it's supposed to focus mental attention. So if I had to guess, and I am guessing because I'm not sure if your eyes are closed, if it still has that effect. But very interesting that red was chosen.
There you go.
That's why I said that Too funny. Too funny.
Are we in Amsterdam?
Cocos.
The brain cuts off the unchanging signal from the eyes, resulting in loss of vision, and then I don't know.
We had the pleasure of meeting the Cocos in
Coco.
Gettysburg Bash, as well as Anthony and Jenny.
Yes.
And I feel like we have to thank you, Ron, for that. You kind of like opened up those doors, and we met a whole bunch of cool people. I know I saw Richard.
Everything, you know what? And
Richard's
everything
on
started.
the Facebook, but not on the YouTube.
Everything started from me being on your chat from Staticon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's true. You were always super supportive. I do live Staticom sessions, and you were there all the time.
I love listening to that. I swear.
It was fun, and yeah, you know what? The people, a lot of the people around here, we've connected them so that they know the Rathmans as well as us. You guys, there's some genuinely really really good people in this field, in this region of the country. The Cocos are definitely amongst two of them. We just spent the weekend, that whole thing we described before the show. We were with them at that place in Mount Joy. We stayed across the street with them in their Airbnb. It was phenomenal. They're really fun people. They're genuinely good people. So
we would agree with that completely. Yeah.
So as are all of you. So that's why we like Lourdes, and I find enjoyment in bringing like-minded type people like that together.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely.
That is awesome. Yeah, Ron and Lourdes did the same for us when we made our first trip to Gettysburg. So again, we appreciate that as well very much.
Yeah.
I can't believe that was your first trip.
Yes.
Yeah. We did one 3 weeks after, but
I know. You made up for time.
We were there twice. Yeah. So, but very cool. All right, I am going to move on to the next clip, and this one I have to share. So give me 1 second.
Oh, congratulations, Cocos, on your anniversary.
Oh, nice.
This week.
Oh.
Congratulations. Yeah, they just put it on the chat.
Congratulations, those Cocos.
That's awesome.
Yes.
All right, so I think we'll be able to talk during this because it's shared, but we'll stay quiet for a moment. There's audio in here, so okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute my mic.
It's actually explained, so.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna mute mine too then. Here we go.
This is Florence, right?
Look at my face. Yes.
Now, for the night, Armando and myself were in charge of hosting at the Walsh house. This is this house right here. So to give you a setup of the room, I started off at this, what I would call the tea room. And the two guests that were only in the house with us at the time is one lady named Jen and her friend, Nicole. I was around this back area right here. Jen, the other Jen that was one of the guests, was sitting in either this chair or this chair. Now, her friend Nicole was on the other side, behind that laser pointer on the other side of the door, looking at us. And she was asking for Spirit to manipulate the laser grid that I had set up there. And they were interested in the laser grid itself. And I had a cap on the table, and I had a trigger where if somebody would move in front of the grid and disrupt it, it'll set off an alarm. It did trigger the alarm a few times, and I had to get it up and reset the alarm the times it did. So while we were there and Nicole was taking pictures, I was running an SB session and asking questions and asking Spirit to either talk to us or manipulate any of the devices that I had on the table. So both Nicole and Jen had gotten up. Unbeknownst to me, we didn't know what she had captured yet on her camera.
Turn off the portal, and I'm gonna have you talk to us through these devices that I'm gonna hold in my hand, okay?
Yes.
Yes? All right.
Immediately after Armando and myself saw the picture ourselves, we conducted an EVP session to find out what happened. This is the EVP session that we did. Listen up.
Someone related to me for years in the past, and I was asking about Catherine.
This is the picture Nicole showed me on the phone. We didn't ask this.
Florence, if you can tell us if Jennifer's mom, if you know that they're okay, mom and dad, if you know that they're okay, touch her on her right shoulder. Are you recording that?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That'll make Jen feel really good.
Florence, are you mad that they snapped a picture of you?
Babe.
Babe?
My grandmother used to call me babe.
Can you give Jen a message? Seems like you're always with her.
If there's any messages that you want to give to Jennifer, we will convey it for you. Nicole's recording it as well, that Jennifer can see it for herself.
The first two photos are the original pictures that Nicole took without her lightening them. These following photos are the ones that I had lightened to see what was caught on camera and so you can see the picture more clear. What are your thoughts? Do you think this is Jen's grandma that came to our event because she knew she was going to be there and get a message? Let us know.
All right, that was very cool. Sorry, our dog decided that he'd get comfy on our green screen and took the whole thing down. Literally took the whole thing down.
Oh no.
Can you hear our background?
No, but we can see it better now. You're good.
That's great.
It was the cutest thing.
The camera out for a few minutes. I knew he was laughing.
So the paranormal screen fell. That's what Roger said.
That was the cutest thing I've ever seen. It's little like,
oh my god, I missed that. I gotta go back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And then
I'm gonna watch it.
Then
I agree, Raul.
I hear Cherie say to me, "That was the dog."
oh my god. I had to try so hard not to laugh, and then I was like, when this clip is over, I'm letting it out.
Yeah. You went off screen.
I had to.
Oh my god.
It was so cute. Oh my god.
We can explain it this time. It was a dog, not Chris's wrath going.
Do you remember that?
boom.
That thing
Yeah.
was crazy. I remember that, and it was perfect timing.
Oh my god, that was funny.
Oh,
It
geez.
was. Okay, I completely lost all my files I had up, so hold on one second.
Good thing we were muted, or else you guys.
Yeah, you would have heard the
Like,
big crashing noise, which we
man.
spared you of, so that's...
Honestly, I wish I would have heard it. I would have been cracking up anyways.
He was swearing too.
Oh, of course I was. I'm like, what the? No.
Yeah, it's good I didn't hear any sound to go with. That was funny enough just to see it.
Yeah.
You were muted.
We'll have to go back. We'll have to go back and watch that. All right, let's go back to comments because you have 36 of them here that we couldn't see during the video. So, but that was very interesting though. No doubt about it.
So,
Yeah.
Somebody said, who was it?
Yeah.
Oh, Gio, think it was the grandmother. So the lady Jen, she 100% thinks it's grandma. On the EVP, we asked what's her name and said Florence. We didn't, obviously, nobody knows what that lady's grandma's name is, and her name is Florence.
She ended up
She told us
telling us
yeah.
after I got the name on the DR60. She's like, yeah, that's my grandma's name.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so she always thought that her grandma was with her. Both of her parents died within like the last 4 years, let's say 4 or 6 years from that date. And this was a couple months back only.
Mm-hmm.
And she says that she's never thought or felt her parents with her. And but she's always for years always thought her grandma was around. So I just told her maybe maybe that's why she is. I don't know.
I took that opportunity and I asked for Florence to.
That's why you asked that question about if her parents are okay.
If her parents were okay to please tap her on the shoulder, and her friend Nicole was recording, so that way she can watch it and realize that her parents are with her. Another cool thing that happened in that portal session, she was saying that she kept hearing like Spanish music through multiple sweeps, but it was these songs that she used to hear when she was a child in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But it kept going through multiple sweeps. It wasn't just like, the sweep and then goes to something else afterwards. And I believe we're in AM at that particular point in time.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did Gio mention tapping the shoulder thing too? That was wild.
Yeah. And that's the only time after that when she said, like, I guess when she heard the boy said babe, and she said, my grandma used to call me babe. You hear her say that?
That was her nickname. Yeah.
The K2 like spiked up. It didn't even do that at all until like it was just something referring back to her, like kind of like a verifying, like, yeah, And what I thought was cool when I had walked in on that, I was just filming, going back to where he was at, that how clear that lady's voice sound on that portal when he was like, okay, we're gonna do whatever, and she's like, yes. Like, okay, I was like, damn.
That was the very first thing you heard when it said yes.
I was like, whoa, that was like really clear. Like, yeah.
Thank you.
I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, that was a great clip.
Yes, it was. What we missed a little of it, but we'll go back and watch the replay of the show. Okay, we have one more. Let me share this one.
Oh, and to answer Roger's question, the person in question is the only person that is standing by the doorway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was all the way in the right. I was fixing the alarm because it had went off. It triggered.
Oh, this is a cool one. Okay.
All right, we will watch this, and then you guys can explain what's happening, what we're looking at, and here we go.
Can you raise the volume? No?
I don't know if that's the name of it, was it here comes when you're alive? That's how he started talking to me today. When I got up, that was in my head.
Can you share volume on that one? Probably is what it is.
Play a song, okay? Are you ready, Tim?
No, I can't. There's no volume within StreamYard, so it's going to use whatever's in the file itself.
Tim, did you like that we played that song for you? Was that considered your song? Did a lot of good for a lot of people. Your service to the community. Thank you. Is there anything you would like to tell us right now?
Oh, they can't hear it. The audience can't hear it.
Neither can we. I mean, we can't hear it either.
Oh. I can hear a little bit.
That's why you get the red light. I saw there's a red light down in that corner over there.
And you know, I turned as soon as that thing went off, we didn't get it on film. We did.
I did.
That we played that song for you? Was that considered your song?
Yeah.
For a lot of people, you serve to the community. Thank you.
You're welcome. Come on.
Is there anything you would like to tell us right now?
Tim, you went through a lot of effort to reach out. Is there something what is the message that you're trying to get across? Is there someone you want us to say hi to? Oh, okay. Is it a family member? Is it a friend?
Is it someone for her? For Mickey?
Yeah, I saw like.
I think it was lightning.
Whoa. 11. 11 something.
Hold on, let it play out. You have it.
11 unit?
I don't think it says 11.
Because I did ask him what station.
Oh.
Oh, and it's going off.
Okay. I think it says you have it.
Yeah, you're right.
Got you.
What?
You have it.
I hear you have it. I don't hear
11, you have it.
I heard that.
Fuck, that shit is answering on there and on that. Like, it's, don't erase any of that.
No, I'm not. It says no, but it says something else after.
Yeah.
Wow. I know the audio was a little soft. StreamYard has a tendency to do that on certain files, so I'm not sure what was going on. But you could hear the responses that you were getting. That was very cool.
So the lady that was next to me, so she was kind of far, so you can hear her like the least. Coming up towards that day, I guess she picked up like a second impression of the Foo Fighters song "My Hero," and then she told me certain things. She's like, "I see like a uniform and stuff like that," and then so she'd never been to Yesteryear Village, which is in West Palm Beach, and what she was describing to me, I was like, oh, I was like, you know what, I kind of know. I think I know what you're being led to think about. So I took her there, and that was the firehouse. And there's just 2 fire trucks there. And in that firehouse, there's a kind of like a plaque for a gentleman. We call him Fireman Tim.
He's the captain.
Yeah.
Captain that died in the line of duty.
Right. So his picture and everything is there, and there's like a fireman uniform and stuff like that. So when I took her, and then she saw like a American flag and all that is there in that little corner, and like there's like nook where we were at, and I was like, I think this is what you were looking at. So she was like, I keep thinking about the song Foo Fighters, so I looked it up, and then I started playing it, and the REM pod would start going off, and I was using my doctor, and I was like, is this the song you wanted to hear? Like then, so we were asking, was this considered your song? So he was like saying, yeah. So like he was going crazy.
Yeah, we've done plenty sessions there where unknowns to us, we had the West Palm Fire Department there as guests, and we were conducting the session, and we got validation from them because they were telling us that was their captain coming out in the recordings because they can understand his tone of voice. So I don't know why it's the particular reason why I asked there, but I always ask Captain, what are you cooking tonight? And he always says steaks. I'm always making steaks. So I asked that question, and then they were like steaks, and they were like, that was our captain because he always used to love cooking us steaks.
Yeah, barbecue them.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And the 11, I don't know. We tried to figure it out. The only thing, so we went back to that plaque, and the plaque, his birthday was 10/11. But I'm like, I'm not convinced that was what it was, but I don't know. I still can't figure out what the 11 means, but he says it like clearly.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, the EVP stuff was great. That's that device is people knock it sometimes. I know I held out for years before I bought a DR60, but we used it. We used it Sunday morning before we left the Airbnb across from the brewery with Todd and Carmela. And we did EVP in the basement where the tunnels used to connect the places, And man, that thing delivers. It does what other recorders don't consistently do.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have 2 of them, and I wouldn't trade them for nothing. I know a lot of folks use the ST25, the Sony recorder, and that one does pick up a lot of EVPs. It's just these were my user preferences. I had the honor of using it from one of my team leads, before she passed, and ever since then I always wanted one, and I didn't get one. I ended up buying 2.
He bought 2 because we wanted it for Waverly Hills at one point, and this was during COVID. So he got one off of eBay, and we weren't sure if it was gonna come through with customs and all that. Like, one is from Russia, and the other one I don't know where the hell it's from. So then he saw another one. He was like, "I'm just gonna jump on this one," and I was like, "No," and he did it. And then so then they both came, literally like right before 2 days prior to us leaving, and then he's like, "I'm keeping him." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, the one I got from Russia was the Japanese model, and then the other one was from Canada, and it was the normal English one.
Very cool.
Yeah, it does wonders, man. I held out for a long time, but ever since I've been using it, every time I use it, I'm like, it was not a waste of money.
And I suggest it. Yes.
That's so cool.
You can sell it back and get double your money back.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, it is time for Jen and Armando to do shameless plugs. So tell the audience where you can be found, what social media you have, any events you've got coming up, investigations, anything along that lines.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for giving us the platform to do it.
Yes.
And thank you again. I guess we behaved good the first time that you allowed us to be back the second time. So yes, shameless plug time. So like we were saying earlier, we are also hosts ourselves or co-hosts. So we host a show every Sunday called Spooked Coast to Coast. And we do encourage you all to
6
to
p.m.
come
Eastern.
on 6 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. You may recognize a familiar face that has been a guest of ours in the past. Rhymes with Mon or Don.
Last name Yeti.
Yeti. And you can follow us 305 Paranormal on Facebook, IG, and YouTube. As far as things that we're going to be a part of, so actually on Friday, we have the pleasure of being in studio for a Spanish channel called Telemundo. We're going to be recording live on set, doing a investigation, if you will.
Yeah.
Never been done in Spanish news.
Yeah.
So we have the honor of doing that.
They think their studio has activity. So in conjunction with the Ring, you know how Ring is having a promotion right now? I don't know
The
if you
Ring
guys
cameras,
know.
the doorbell cameras.
The doorbell cameras. You can catch anything paranormal and stuff like that. So this is kind of like a promo for them, but they invited us out to War Party as a group.
Thank you.
To go there and investigate the studio, and they want to just see us, but we didn't know until kind of just now that it would be live on their live morning show. So
that's awesome.
It's gonna be crazy, I guess. I don't know.
I
don't know what to expect.
We're gonna also be this weekend. We're gonna be traveling up to the Gilchrist, Old County Gilchrist Jail, which is in Trenton, Florida. They're hosting a Para-Unity Con, and we're one of the War Party Paranormal is one of the speakers, and we were asked to be part of that. So
that's by Gainesville.
It's by Gainesville.
Anybody's by there, just go.
It's a 25-minute drive west of Gainesville. So if you guys want to stop by and say hi, we're actually going to be doing some experiments there. So come and check us out. Besides that, anything else?
No. Tomorrow night we have, this is a private field trip for Deering Estate, which I always love doing because I love working with kids, and we have 2 kids around, so I like, kind of teaching them and stuff. So I think it's awesome.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we can't tell you how much we appreciate you taking the time to come on and review your evidence. So
Thank you, guys.
Great show. We greatly appreciate it. Ron, you feel like doing Chris's closing?
Let's try. Big shoes to fill. So, folks, thanks for watching the show. If you want to collect the best of evidence, you got to get yourself a DR60. You got to get yourself down into the humidity and heat of Florida. You got to dodge 600 or more hurricanes while still whirling up some of the best evidence in the business. You got to stay focused. You got to keep going even when the dog takes down your green screen. The show must go on. And if you do that, then you're probably going to stay haunted.
Yes.
Can you give me a name? What's your name?